Hi, fourth graders. How are you today? Today, you should be watching this reading lesson on Wednesday, April 15th. And you should be in your packets, you should be on lesson 11 that talks about the text and image chart. And then you also need your book. Today, what we're going to do is something that we've done before already. We're just going to practice it again, but we are going to read a part of our story, look at some pictures, and then decide how are those pictures helping us visualize what we read in the text. I know we've talked about this a lot, but for a lot of us, visuals are a big way on how we learn. We can read things and we can understand them pretty well, but when we have a picture that goes with words, it just helps us understand things a whole lot better. So our directions today are to reread paragraphs 6 through 10 and look at the images on pages 24 and 25. How do the images support and or expand on, what does it say, Narcissa Whitman's, I would say Narcissa Whitman's description of her experience on the trail. So we're going to read paragraphs 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going to look at two pictures and decide kind of how is this helping us visualize better what is going on. So I'm actually going to read it for you. So open up your books, please. This is paragraph 6 is on page 24. And follow along with me, please, as I read. In 1836, Whitman and her husband Marcus led a small expedition from New York to Oregon to found a mission in Oregon Territory. She described their daily routines and mishaps in her diary and letters. She also wrote about the landscape, which was very different from New York, where she had lived. She described the landscape in a letter to her brother and sister on June 3rd, 1836. The face of the country yesterday afternoon and today has been rolling sand bluffs, mostly barren, quite unlike what our eyes have been satiated or filled with for weeks past. No timber nearer than the Platte, and the water tonight is very bad. Got it from a small ravine. Life on the trail was very different from life back east. Whitman writes, "Our fuel for cooking since we left timber has been dried buffalo dung, similar to the kind of coal used in Pennsylvania." Flip your story. Oh, grab my packet. On the trail, travelers quickly recognized the importance of the American bison that roamed the plains. The men would hunt the buffalo for meat, Whitman recounts. The present time in our journey is a very important one. The hunter brought us buffalo meat yesterday for the first time. We had some for supper tonight. I expect it will be very good. However, the party had to eat buffalo meat so often that Whitman soon tired of it and longed for simple bread and butter. She writes that she had been living on buffalo meat until I'm cloyed or disgusted with it. All right, so in your stories, I already wrote this for you. So we're looking at these two things that they said in the story. So what is stated in the text? In the first one, I want you to copy this down, please. Rolling sand bluffs, comma, mostly barren. And make sure you put quotations around it because that was a direct quote that I took from the book. The other one I want you to write down in quotation marks with capital letters and punctuation. The hunter brought us buffalo meat yesterday for the first time. So go ahead, pause the video so you can see this and write these two things down. Go ahead, pause. Okay, you should have paused the video and written these two things down. Now we're going to go back and we're going to look at a picture and maybe it will help us picture what she said better in our minds. So in your books, down at the very bottom, I want you to look at this picture on page 24. Here are the wagons, the covered wagons on the Oregon Trail. And if you notice in the background, this is the land they were traveling on. Do you see many trees? I don't. I don't even see really any bushes. I see just a lot of like plain ground with a lot of these little like clumps of stuff. Now, can you imagine if the ground were really bumpy and rocky and full of this clumpy stuff? Do you think it would be very easy to travel on a covered wagon? I don't think so at all. I think it would be very difficult. So this picture is kind of just giving me a better idea of maybe just how tough the journey was and probably how boring it was to look around because there was nothing to look at. So that's helping me better understand kind of what these people went through. So you can write your own words or you can copy exactly what I'm writing down, but that picture just really helped show me that it was kind of like dreary and kind of not fun and icky, and it was just probably not the most fun journey. So I'm going to say the picture helped me visualize that the journey over the land was not an easy one. If I write too fast for you, just make sure you can always pause the video and catch up. Looking at the landscape, I know when we go on car drives and stuff like that, when we like to look out the windows, it's nice when we have things to look at, like a lot of trees or nature or houses or whatever. But if you go on a road trip and it's just flat, barren land, it's kind of just like meh. It's like dreary, not that fun. So it probably was like a dreary and not an exciting trip to take. I mean, I'm sure it was probably dangerous and those types of things, but there wasn't anything nice to look at. So it kind of probably made people feel a little bit down. There weren't many trees to look at. So I'm going to say the trip seemed dreary. Just means like, bleh, not fun, boring. Okay. All right, now looking at this sentence, the hunter brought us buffalo meat yesterday for the first time. So let's go to this picture right here, page 25. And let's take a look at that picture. So here's the hunter. He's on a horse. The horse is kind of rearing up. The hunter is also carrying a gun, and it looks like the buffalo is what? Kind of coming right at him. It's kind of like charging him. Do you think that hunting buffalo was one of the safest things to do? Probably not. Hunting bison, hunting buffalo was probably pretty dangerous because, first of all, you had to go on horseback. So if you weren't great at riding, that was tricky. You had to carry a gun. Anytime you deal with guns, there's always danger. And sometimes the buffalo, and look how huge they are. I mean, it's as big as the horse. Sometimes the buffalo would charge the hunters. And then you had to figure out how to not get hit, how to not get trampled and killed. So it really shows like this is a good action shot, and it shows just how dangerous hunting bison really was. So the picture shows an action shot of someone hunting buffalo. This helps me visualize just how dangerous buffalo hunting really was. I mean, that looked dangerous. I would not want to be charged by, I mean, this buffalo is probably like 2,000 pounds or more. I would definitely not want to be crushed or trampled or chased by a buffalo that is 2,000 pounds. Like, no, thank you. So buffalo hunting was really dangerous, but did they have any other choice? I mean, did they have any other food? Not really. So it was that or starve. Not great odds, if you ask me. All right. So your assignment now is going to be to practice looking at text features on your own. So, hold on. Let me write down your assignment. Your IXL reading assignment. Your IXL reading assignment today is K1 to 80. And it's all practice on text features. Okay, so let's go do a couple together. Here we go. All right, so when you go on to K1, it's going to look something like this. It says, look at these pages from a book about jobs in healthcare. Select the text feature that shows the meanings of words related to healthcare. Okay, so it's looking like you can click on, I've never done these, so these are kind of like new to me as well. Also, if you ever come to one and you're not sure what to do, there's this little thing that says learn with an example. You can click on it and it'll tell you kind of how to do it. Okay, so it says look at these pages from a book about jobs in healthcare. Select the text feature that shows the meanings of words related to healthcare. Okay, so I'm looking for probably some sort of like big word and then maybe a definition because they're talking about showing the meanings of words. Okay, so I'm looking up here. All right, so it looks like I have 4 to choose from. Different paths in medicine. All right, so here are some big words. This is talking about the jobs in medicine and how much training time it takes. That doesn't show me anything about meanings of words, so I'm going to not pick that one right now. Paramedic. Okay, so paramedic, here's a good one. It tells me about a paramedic and kind of what they do, but this says meaning of words, like plural. Like paramedic is just one word. I want a lot of words together, so I'm not going to pick that one yet. Home health aid. Okay, so this describes what a home health aid is, but again, that's only one, and they want the meanings of words. Okay, I'm going to go down here then. This is glossary. Oh, I know what a glossary is. It's like the back of the book where if there's like a bolded word in your story, you don't know what it means. You go to the glossary, you look it up, and it gives you the definition. Here we go. This is what I want. Glossary. Cardiologist tells me what that is. A dietitian tells me what that is. A pharmacist tells me what that is. A podiatrist tells me what that is. This is what I want. This part. There we go. Okay, now we need to read the information in the glossary. Okay. Cardiologist, a doctor who helps keep people's hearts healthy. A dietitian, a medical worker who helps people eat healthy. I had to hire one of those when I had my tummy problems earlier this year. You guys know about that. Pharmacist, a medical worker who prepares and gives out medicine. And a podiatrist, a doctor who takes care of people's feet. Okay, so what does a pharmacist mean? All right, I'm going to go back. Pharmacist, this is someone who gives out medicine, prepares and gives out medicine. I'm looking for the word medicine. Here we go. A medical worker who prepares and gives out medicine. Nice. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're reading their question, and then you're picking which graphic feature matches with their description. Okay, just remembering things we read help us understand things, but when we can match a picture with our words, it will really help our understanding that much better. If you need my help with anything, you know where to find me. You're doing a great job. And tomorrow, you will have your Unit 7 test. So tomorrow is your big test. There will not be a lesson. You will just have your test pushed out to you on Google Classroom, and that will be it. No lesson will be tomorrow, okay? Just your test. If you need anything, if you have questions, let me know. Bye, guys.